Good morning, good morning, good morning. I did not forget you. Let me get this together, Nan. Come on. I did not forget you. Welcome to day 85 of the Free to Hope, right? Presents the 12 steps applied to COVID-19. I'm Edwina B, and I am truly a grateful, humble, recovering alcoholic of 31 years. We celebrated 31 years on February the 23rd of 2021. Not only did we celebrate 31 years, we are also celebrating 85 days free from COVID-19, me and 7 of my family members. And for that, we are truly, truly, truly grateful. And so FREE stands for From Recovery, Emerge Empowered to Give Hope to Others, Help Others Prosper Equally, right? So we know that the 12 steps came from the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous over 80 plus years ago. No, I do not represent Alcoholics Anonymous, but have been a proud and grateful member for 31 years, one day at a time now. Don't get it twisted. And so as a result of being prepared to sit before you to share my experience, my strength, my hope, my wisdom regarding the 12 steps that are spiritual in nature and applying these same 12 steps to COVID-19 as me and 7 other family members survived COVID-19. So we, like you, need to recognize that we can breathe. The Creator breathed life into you this morning and to me, woke you up this morning, woke me up this morning. And for that, we need to give him homage because we can breathe, we can smell, we can taste, we can feel, we can touch, we can see, we can hear, but the goal is to listen. So we want to acknowledge who the Creator is and what he will continue to do for us one day at a time. So we know that there are some who can't wake up this morning, won't wake up this morning, who are on their dying bed right now as a result of COVID-19. So we want to give homage to the entire human race as we simultaneously go through the effects, impact, outcomes, and fatalities of this COVID-19 pandemic and all its associated variants. All right. So I ask that you join me for 30 seconds of silence and homage to our Creator and to the entire human race regarding this COVID-19 pandemic. Join me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oftentimes, if you ever go to a 12-step meeting, you will see certain groups taking a moment of silence for the still sick and suffering alcoholic inside and outside of the 12-step programs. And we know that the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous has been replicated with Gamblers Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Workaholics Anonymous, Sex Anonymous, Al-Anon Anonymous, Alateen Anonymous, and now COVID-19 Anonymous. So when we practice these 12 spiritual principles in all our affairs, specifically targeted towards COVID-19, we can, we will, we must start the perpetuation of its devastating effects, impact, outcomes, and fatalities. And so I thank my God for preparing me to sit before you to share my experience, my strength, my hope, my wisdom, my lack of wisdom, my bad choices, my bad decisions I made, which resulted in me contributing to contracting COVID-19 and infecting members of my family. in spite of having the information at that time for nearly 30 years. So what kept me from applying these 12 steps to COVID-19? A feeling of being invincible, being defiant, being rebellious, being stubborn, being self-centered. No, I can't wear no mask. I can't cover up my face. I cannot, I will not. All righty then. You didn't want to wash your hands consistently. You definitely didn't want to social distance, huh? You wanted to pick and choose where you wanted to go. Yes. Getting tested. Oh, no. Vaccine. Oh, that's out the question. So my rebellious, defiant attitude towards COVID-19 says that I took it for granted. Are you taking COVID-19 for granted? As some of those family members who've lost loved ones. Ask those who suffered through COVID-19. Ask those who survived COVID-19. What their attitudes, ideas, behaviors, choices, and decisions, what would they have done differently? And so our goal for this recovery conversation is to help plant a seed in you so that you can contribute to saving yourself, your loved ones, and the lives of others. Wouldn't you want to do that? Wouldn't you want to save your own life? Wouldn't you want to save the lives of your precious grandchildren, other family members? Or would you want the regrets and remorse that so many are experiencing right now with the if I coulda, woulda, shouldas? And so we can apply these 12 spiritual principles to be proactive, reactive, inactive, or responsible regarding COVID-19. Therefore, we could be in 3 modes: the prevention mode, intervention mode, and restoration mode. Because the Creator knows the beginning, the middle, and the end of this pandemic. And all we have to do is apply these simple suggestions outlined in the 12 steps and given by the CDC guidelines. All right, so I want to first acknowledge, today's going to be good. Today's going to be good. I want to first acknowledge my sponsors. I'm going to do that first because you're going to see day 2 of my video that I did on December the 4th of 2020. I shared with you 2 days previous, the day 1, part 1 and part 2 of me being in the bed and deciding how I'm going to do this, right? And allowing myself to be led by the Spirit. And I'm going to show you day 2 of my 14-day quarantine, and you will see the difference. You will see the difference. And you will also see the transformation. You will definitely see the transparency. I ain't going to tell you what, but you're going to see, you're like, whoa, is that you, Edwina? Yes, it's me. Because I've learned to take off all the masks and put on the mask that's going to save my life and save the lives of my loved ones and possibly your life. So, yes. And so I'm going to share that, and you will see how the transformation of COVID-19 to what you see now, only by the grace of God. So this makeup, my hairstyle, and all that represents my culture, represents my royalty, represents my heritage, my traditions. So I know what's important now as a result of contracting COVID-19 and affecting my loved ones as young as 2 years old. Up until 78 years old, and we all have been blessed to survive it. Why? Because it is our responsibility, our obligation, our duty to come back and share with you, and you of what we did wrong, the choices we made based on character defects. All right? So you'll get to see that. And then you'll see why I solicit sponsors so that I can improve my platform, as you will see, because I was doing it in my bedroom. And guess what? The spirit said, you got a camera, you got a computer, you got lights, action. So to God be the glory for my sponsors. And I'm going to share my sponsors with you. And I'm also going to share with you how I got to sit before you as a result of Dr. Scott T. Allison's article in Psychology Today back on March the 31st of 2020, where he wrote, we can benefit from the wisdom of the 12-step programs while we're doing this COVID-19 pandemic during the month of April. Now we are in a new year, a new month, embarking on a new day, but every day is a holiday. Every day is a new day. That's what we learn in the 12-step programs. Every day is a holiday. So if we can apply these 12 spiritual principles to stay sober and help another alcoholic achieve sobriety, guess what? We can apply it to COVID-19 to stay free from COVID-19 and help others stay free from COVID-19 as well. All right. So that was Dr. Scott T. Allison. And then throughout the process, on April the 1st is when I hit that button. I extracted Jason Waller, JASON WAHLER breakdown of the 12 steps that he used other resources, injected his own personal experience, strength, and hope and wisdom. And I am doing the same thing. But I like his format because he presents the narratives. He sets the preparation stages of why we should embark on these 12 spiritual principles. And then there's a series of questions that are asked that will challenge your old and existing mindset, attitudes, ideas, behaviors, actions, and choices. Okay, so let's go to my sponsors first. All right, and I just got notification that there are going to be more sponsors coming, but for right now, they are Crafty Crab Seafood, and they entertained me and my family members on my anniversary on February the 23rd with an awesome atmosphere with social distancing, sanitizer, right? We all had to wear our mask and everything was great. So thanks to my newest sponsor, Crafty Crab Seafood in Wilmington, Delaware. We also have Free to Hope from Recovery, Emerge Empowered to Give Hope to Others, LLC. Women Do Haul Transportation Services, providing employment and training for those who are suffering with the disease of mental illness, substance abuse, and ex-offenders. We also have Mr. C's Barbershop. He is responsible for my crown that I am wearing. He's been my barber for over 30 years. Then we have Morgan's of Delaware and Lady T at Morgan's of Delaware. I wear their attire a lot, and I represent what they have to offer as a sponsor, and I wear their mask. I wear anybody's mask who wants to be my sponsor that supports the cause and is appropriate and relevant to what we are sharing. We also have jewelry by Catherine Butler. I wear a lot of her jewelry as well. And then we have Divine Light. Divine Light is an organization that provides recovery treatment for alcoholism, drug addiction, and mental illness. And they align with our theme from Dr. Carl Jung and Dr. Bob and Bill W. Those with the disease of alcoholism, drug addiction. The medical field was limited in helping you. The religious field was limited in helping you. And what Dr. Carl Jung said is y'all need divine providence, divine intervention, and divine light. And so what I would ask that you do, if you are so moved, is to consider becoming a sponsor so that I can increase my platform and get this free information out to as many people as possible. In the meantime, and during that time, upgrade any equipment that I need. So you will see on this second day video what my studio looked like in my bedroom. But you know what? It doesn't matter. God can use broken, wounded, shattered people like me and like you to rescue wounded, shattered, and broken people like me and like you. So, what I want to do now is name some of my upcoming sponsors. We're going to be sharing information on Levante and Dorsey and Associates. We're going to be sharing information on Christopher Pender's Families and Community Services, Ebony Madry Patchwork Services, Dr. Mary Douglas Bailey Counseling Services, and Dr. J. Macklin Academy of Peace. All right. So there are some of my forthcoming sponsors that I will present next week. So if you want to become a sponsor, and I hope you do, please contact me with the information on the screen. Contact someone else to contribute so that we can, again, make this information free to the public. But we do need upgrades, and we do need to pay for other media venues in order to get the word out. All right. So I want you to sit back for a few minutes and watch the day 2 of me transitioning with COVID-19. All right. And so you're going to be amazed, but to God be the glory. All right. So here we go.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing? Huh? Yes, I am back. This is me, Edwina B, and I am sharing with you this journey for the next couple of weeks as I work through being tested positive for COVID-19. So I haven't been with y'all in a while because of several reasons. But that's not as important right this second, because I want to do what I always do every time I am with you. And that is to give God the praise, the glory, the hallelujah, the worship, and more importantly, the acknowledgement. Okay, so you ready? Now, my mom is over there. I got the pill over there. I don't have enough strength just second to go get her. So we going to pretend that I got my mom's pillow with me, okay? You ready? All right. Rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, children of the Lord. One more time. Rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, rise, shine, give God the glory, glory, children of the Lord. Remember, y'all, these are happy tears. Happy tears. And I have to be mindful of my energy. So, you know my spirit, and you know I can get down, right? But I am being mindful of my energy. But that does not stop me from giving God the praise, the glory, the honor, the worship, and the acknowledgement. I don't care if it's with the last breath of my life. I give him the glory. Because he decided to wake you up, and me this morning to share the morning recovery conversation with Edwina B, y'all, of the Free to Hope model, using 12 spiritual recovery principles adopted by the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. No, I do not represent Alcoholics Anonymous, but I am a proud, humble, and grateful member for over 30 years. One day at a time. And for that, I know that God uses broken, wounded, and shattered people like me and like you to rescue broken, shattered, and wounded people like me and like you. Okay? So this is day 161. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. 161. Holy Spirit, use me, okay? All right, so, but I've been sharing reruns for the last few weeks because of this COVID-19 has hit my house, my family, and it has finally hit me. And I took the time off and kind of had to get some things together and in place. And I'll get into all that because I want to share the whole entire journey with you. Okay. So even though this is day 161 taping of the Free to Hope from Recovery Emerge Empowered to give hope to others, help others prosper equally, day 161 episode. But I decided that I need somebody to talk to. And I said, well, I've been transparent all this time, so I can share this journey with you, right? Good, because I miss y'all. I miss y'all an awful lot. And I said, well, let me do what I can, how long I can, and as much as I can, even in this condition. And so yesterday was my first day in quarantine, and I did create a video. I don't know when it's going to upload or not on Facebook Live, but I said this morning, no, I'm going back live. I'm going to share this journey with y'all. I need my people. I need y'all. I need y'all. I need y'all. And these are happy tears. I need to know that. And so I'm in my bedroom, and of course I don't have my normal things, but that's okay because the Holy Spirit said, you know what, this is the room you started in back on April the 1st. Isn't that something? April the 1st, I started this here in this room. And it's amazing how things work out. Okay, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. So let me say that I wanted to share these 13 days remaining in quarantine with you. So I'm not taking any weekends off or nothing like that. So every day, every morning, I'm coming to you to give you an update of this journey, one day at a time. And if it's God's will that we continue and complete these 13 days, then guess what? I'm all for it because I'm going to give it my best shot one day at a time. Okay? All right. So then I wanted to share that I don't have everything that I want, but I have everything that I need, if that makes any sense. Of course it does. And so my normal pictures and my normal background and all that, that's downstairs in my made-up studio. However, if it's God's will, if it's not God's will, guess what? It's just me and you. Y'all know what they look like, and y'all know who they are. And so I do want to give acknowledgement to my family that I always do, and my parents, my siblings. I want to give acknowledgement to my children and my grandchildren, my auntie, mama. Y'all know my ancestors, them as well. And I don't even have Billy D with me. I don't even have Billy D here with me this morning. But I tell you what I do got. I got my cup of coffee. Okay. All right. So can I take a sip right about now, y'all? Thanks. You got to do what you got to do. And so even though I don't have everything that I want in place, I got everything that I need. And the most important thing that I need is you. Yes. I mean, of course, God, we know all that, right? But I miss y'all. And I know y'all miss me. And I said, shucks, I'm going to share this journey with them too, no matter how I look, no matter how I feel. And because my people love me and I love them. And I'm just going to, continue to be transparent and continue to be me. Okay. And so, let me see what else I have to, kind of get things, right. So I will be coming on every morning from 6 to 7 for the next, 13 days of this quarantine. And I will share what is going on and all that during the day. And prayerfully, the third time I take the test, it'll be God's will that it's negative, right? But I will get into all of that as I share this with you. So my transparency says that I don't feel 100%, no matter what I look like. Y'all know I ain't worried about that. But I don't feel 100%. I don't have a fever. I don't have a fever. I'm not vomiting. I have to watch my energy level. I'm not going to say I have shortness of breath, but I am unable to take deep breaths because I had a fractured rib one time, and I don't know if I had pneumonia a long time ago. I don't remember. But I know I had a fractured rib. And so me wanting to take a deep breath, I can't. And when I try to, I can't because I feel the resistance. Okay. And so that's when I knew that is one of the symptoms. Okay. And so I am mindful of how I'm breathing, but I'm also mindful that I can't exert myself too much because of the resistance. Okay, all right. I do have to cough every once in a while, and when I do cough, it's they're short dry coughs, and sometimes I feel like I have to bring up, some mucus if because I don't think I have a cold, but I don't know. But it seems like I got to bring something up, right? Y'all may say, ew, listen, I told y'all I'm transparent. I don't care. I ain't gonna sit up here and choke, right? And so that's what I mean by having to cough. And sometimes I have to bring stuff up or whatever and, get rid of it, of course. But I also noticed that when I do cough, um, my head just like, woo, it's like, woo. And so my head hurts. And I've been having headaches, particularly when I'm coughing, but I also notice it kind of hurts more when I cough. So I have the little breathing thing, and then I have the headaches, but no vomiting, no fever, and okay. So I am able to move around. I am able to get up. I'm in my master bedroom, and I got my little king size bed here, and I got my own private bath, and and everything else that's in here. So there's not a lot of moving around I have to do. Now, I also notice that my eyes get kind of itchy, not runny, but like itchy. And so if you see me rubbing my eyes, then whatever that's about. Okay. So, do I have an appetite? Yes, I have an appetite. But I do notice also that my taste buds are a little different. And when I try to smell things, I can smell things, but my tasting is a little different. Okay. And so I can taste salt, I can taste sweet, but there's something different. Now, when you eating your food or you eating something that you enjoy, if it don't taste like it usually tastes, then something's the matter. So that's another little sign indication. Okay. All right. So I am able to eat. So I have my refrigerator here. I have my coffee pot. I have my little knickknacks over here. Definitely have a microwave. But in terms of, an appetite, so I get to lose a couple pounds, I would imagine, right? Okay. All right, so what else? My sleeping habits, I don't have a problem going to sleep. But I do notice that I have to adjust my position every once in a while, depending upon my breathing. Okay. And so let me take a sip of coffee. Yes, I have water. I have orange juice. I have hot tea, coffee. I have all that. Okay, so that's that. Now, where was I? Okay, talking about sleeping. See what I mean? I'm so glad I'm having this morning conversation with y'all. I miss y'all. I listen. I do. Okay. So my appetite. Okay. All right. So I mean, listen. I am grateful. Trust me. Oh boy, am I grateful. Yes, I am. But I also want to share with you how I got here and why I'm here and how hopefully I can help you not get here. Okay. So I talked about, how I'm feeling, my appetite. Um, of course, listen, I don't even know where my teeth are or is. Which one is it, y'all? I don't know where my teeth are. Okay. And at this point, I don't care. But I do notice when I want to eat certain things, I need to put my teeth in. But in the meantime, I listen. This is it, y'all. This is it. I didn't feel like putting no wig on. Don't want no wig on. I ain't trying to pull off and take out new. Because I told y'all my head hurts. So anytime I put a wig on or anything else, it bothers me. And I've been wearing my mother's hat. This is my mom's favorite hat, right? And so I've been wearing my mom here a few days, and I can only keep her on so much because now wait a minute, wait. I tell you, boy, you talking about the coordination? All right, come on, mom. Let's do this. Okay. So this is my mom's favorite hat. So I got her. Okay. And yeah, I got my glasses. See, I got my glasses on so I can see her. Yes. Oh, well, good morning, son. What did you ask me? Yes. What's the matter? Who can make breakfast? And what are you gonna make? I let me think about it. Okay, let me think about it. Okay, now that was my 14-year-old grandson, and my 14-year-old grandson and my 10-year-old granddaughter, they got charge of the house per se, right? And me and my 7-year-old granddaughter, who was in her room, being quarantined. Now, he just asked me, could he fix breakfast? And, they come and they check on me to see what I want, anything, stuff like that. But he wants to make grits, he wants to make eggs, and he wants to make pancakes. And of course, I can surrender and say, go ahead, just don't burn the damn house down. But guess what? They ain't got to cook breakfast for me, and I don't know. So, what do y'all think? I mean, he know how to cook and, and all that kind of stuff. So I might just let him, He wants to try it. What can I say? Okay. So that's what I mean by in terms of, this adjustment. So I got my mom here with me as I was sharing. And, I just had my glasses on. And every morning, my niece and my nephew, they come check on me. And my granddaughter, that's 7, she's in her room and she has to come to my room because we only have 2 bathrooms on the 2nd floor. And so she decided to quarantine by herself, but we can share the bathroom because we both got COVID-19, right? All right, so okay. So y'all see what I mean by, this is some real stuff, okay? So I think I'm going to let him fix breakfast for the three of them, and I'll be okay. All right, so that's that. Now, how did I get here? All right, all right, Mom. Okay, my head hurt. I can't. Let me see. I can put you on my shoulder, Mom. How about that? Okay, so can me and my mom have a conversation with y'all? This is my mommy here. This was her favorite hat. Okay, so, all right. Whew. Lord, I love you. That's all I can say. All right, let me take another sip of coffee. And y'all
I'm
may be
going to
saying,
stop
Edwina,
there,
listen, you
and
just stay off for
I'm
2 weeks
going
and,
to
because this is
resume
listen.
that probably tomorrow. But you get to see how the process of contracting COVID-19, right? And what it looked like. And that's why I have this dress that says I don't look like what I've been through. And you can see for yourself. And that's why being transparent is so important to me. All those other masks that we wear, honey, listen, I need to wear the mask that's going to save my life. But if you are like me, and a 12-step program, I hear what people say, I can read what you write, but for some reason, I'm like, you got to show me. All right. And so that's why I thank God for allowing me to be transparent so that I can show you what COVID-19 looked like on me. And throughout these recovery conversations, I'm going to show different videos of that 14-day quarantine and also with members of my family. But you can see how it takes a toll on you, right? And what it means to be totally humbled because you can't do nothing else. And I always like to demonstrate by showing you so that you can see for yourself instead of hearing, but I need you to listen to the behavior. That makes sense? All right. So we hear what people say, but I often say in the 12-step program, say, no, 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 listen to their behavior. All right. And so I will show you another part of that second day, probably tomorrow, but I just wanted to give you an introduction of what it really looked like then and how the process looks like now as a result of applying these 12 spiritual principles that help me to be reminded, Edwina, that when you apply these 12 spiritual principles to COVID-19, you will have a spiritual experience that will bring about a spiritual awakening, increase your spiritual maturity, right? To obtain that psychic change of wearing the mask, washing your hands, social distancing, getting tested, contact tracing, and getting vaccinated, right? So I want to show you that as a result of applying these 12 spiritual principles, I had to do my homework, my research, so that I can consider at that time taking the vaccine shot, right? Many of you, again, like me, had doubts, had concerns, was hesitant, was suspicious about that vaccine shot, right? But like anything else, when I applied the 12 spiritual principles and did my homework and did my research and asked those questions and looked around to who was taking that shot, so don't leave me out, right? Before they left a whole lot of people out and concentrated on one population, right? So look at the dynamics now. So if they are protecting themselves and their loved ones, then we need to do the same thing. So I was contacted by Reverend Robert Daniels of my church, Canaan Baptist Church, where my pastor, Christopher Allen Bullock, resides. And through my church, they were offering the vaccine shot, and I went and got it. And one of our favorite and most humble persons in Delaware, Dr. Joan Coker, right? It's amazing how that happened, but I want to show you that I got the shot, all right? And I'm waiting to be contacted to get my second shot, right? So.
All right, here we go, my daughter. Got it?
So you see, I got the shot, right? Okay. Now, as a result of getting the shot, all I did was have a sore arm. That was it. But listen, during my addiction, as an alcoholic and a drug addict and a prostitute, I caught STDs. So I was getting needles all over my body. You know what I mean, right? And so if this needle is going to help save my life and help to decrease the severity of the symptoms, should I contract COVID-19 again, which I don't plan on it, but guess what? If I continue to do the recommendations and I continue to apply these simple principles and the CDC suggestions, there's a good chance I won't. But the vaccine, from what I learned and what I understand and from the questions that were answered, the vaccine only decreases the severity of the symptoms. So when you saw my picture in the on the opening, listen, you may be from Missouri again. Let me show you, okay? So you see how I look then. If I contract COVID-19 again, and what you see now are what they call mild symptoms, I can only imagine, and I saw what the severe symptoms look like, and you have too, right? And so when I recognize that the vaccine only decreases the severity of the symptoms, therefore there's a great possibility that I won't be hospitalized, and there's a greater possibility that I won't meet the fatality of COVID-19. So the vaccine helps to decrease the severity of the symptoms, which decreases the possibility of me being admitted to the hospital, which decreases the possibility of me dying. Because in our 12-step program, they say some of us must die in order for some of us to live. And why is that? Because of our old and existing attitudes, ideas, and behaviors that of being defiant, being rebellious, taking this COVID-19 for granted, having that attitude of being invincible. You wonder what those individuals might say if they were yet alive, or ask the ones who have been left behind to deal with the remorse and the regrets of the if I coulda, woulda, shouldas, right? All right, so get vaccinated, wash your hands, social distancing, contact tracing, definitely get tested, and wear that mask. All right, so with the time remaining, let's go and present to you what we're going to be doing. So I'm just going to show you real quickly what we do. I mentioned to you the information on Dr. Allison, right? And him, and with his 7 points, letting go of control, patience, keeping the focus on oneself, trust, living in the present, social connections, and service to others. He used that in from an Al-Anon approach. For those who don't know what the 12 steps are, as we apply them to COVID-19, we admitted we were powerless over COVID-19, that our lives had become unmanageable, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God, made a searching and fearless more inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, were entirely ready to have God remove all our defects of character. And 7, humbly ask him to remove our shortcomings, right? That's 7. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to others regarding COVID-19 and to practice these principles in all our affairs. And so what I want to share with you now, before we go and I present to you what we're going to be doing. So we know that we did recovery principles number 1 through 6, and we ended yesterday with the 2 activities. All right. And so what we're going to be talking about now is recovery principle number 7. Humbly ask him to remove our shortcoming. Now, with Jason Waller, I let y'all know that he has narratives and he has information that he collected from other resources, and he injected his own experience, strength, and hope in applying the 12 steps to his life of alcoholism, drug addiction, and the lifestyle with him and his family. And so when we talk about steps 4 through 7, when we talked about those character defects, when we talked about in 5, getting into the exact nature, where we concluded yesterday with recovery principle number 6, being entirely ready to have God remove our defects of character. And now we're going to embark on recovery principle number 7. And so I want you to look at this, and this is what we're going to be doing for the next few days, is recovery principle number 7. But listen, look how it talks about humbly ask him, meaning the God of your understanding, your creator, the force, okay, to remove our shortcomings. So when we, examples from steps 4 to 7, we identified, in my case, and a lot of people cases, that we lied. And so through our searching and fearless more inventory, we found out where that lying began. And oftentimes it began in our childhood, and it perpetuated even up until now. So we identified lying as the character defect. And step 5, in talking, admitting to God, to ourselves, and to another human being, that human being help us get to the exact nature of why we lie, which was identified as fear. But we also learned in recovery that instead of using a negative acronym for fear of forget everything and run, we used a positive and spiritual acronym of fear of face everything and recover. So when we face everything and recover regarding the character defect of lying, which was rooted in fear, we become entirely ready to have God remove the defect of lying, right? We don't know when and how he's going to do it, but we are entirely ready to have him remove it. And so step 7 is the beginning of the present steps, if you will. And it says, when I lie again or am about to lie, I can ask God to remove that shortcoming of lying. All right, that makes sense. And so that's what we are going to be talking about the next few days. So let me share with you the first section of Jason Waller's breakdown regarding recovery principle number 7. Okay, so Jason Waller writes, right? Let me get here. Okay. He says, step 7 of Alcoholics Anonymous, from his point of view. We're going to read what he says regarding alcoholism, and then we're going to start our process of changing the area of focus to COVID-19. Okay, so I always believe in giving the foundation. All right. So this is a preparation of us trying to deal with what it means to be humble and asking God to remove our shortcomings. So he says, step 7 of Alcoholics Anonymous 12-step program of recovery is about getting rid of character defects and replacing them by practicing humility and spiritual principles. Working on the 7th step requires constant thoughtfulness and commitment to being honest, courageous, and humble. When working on step 4 and our shortcomings, with step 6, we became prepared to deal with these qualities so that in step 7, we could be ready to act. All right? So we're going to continue, if it's God's will, that he breathed life into us on day 86 and wake us up on day 86 for us to be reunited and continue on these 12 spiritual principles. So I ask you again, as you go through this day, to make it a happy new day, regardless of what comes down the pipe. These spiritual principles can help us deal with any physical condition, even COVID-19. So that means we need to be proactive. Or are you inactive? Or are you reactive? Or are you responsible regarding COVID-19? Are you in the prevention, intervention, or restoration mode of COVID-19? Only you can answer those questions. But again, emphasizing the need to wear a mask, wash your hands, social distancing, contact tracing, getting tested, and getting vaccinated, and repeating the cycle like we do in a 12-step program of Alcoholics Anonymous. There is not a beginning and an end. Only God knows that of this COVID-19. But in the 12-step program, everything is recycled because why? Our level of maturity, our level of spiritual transformation continues to increase the more we practice these 12 spiritual principles in all our affairs, all right? So I'm going to close with thanking my sponsors again. So let me get them up here and also invite you to be a sponsor. Many of you know that these media platforms cost money, and the ability to upgrade my equipment is important. And so I want to thank my sponsors, Crafty Crab Seafood, Free to Hope, Women Do Haul Transportation, Mr. C's Barbershop, Morgans of Delaware, Lady T at Morgans of Delaware, Jewelry by Catherine Butler, Divine Light. Also want to credit my resources, Dr. Scott T. Allison on his Psychology Today, and Jason Waller of Breaking Down the 12 Spiritual Principles. So if you want to get on my list of sponsors, please contact me. Also, let me show you how I was able to get the vaccine shot. So let me start it again, because I know some of y'all from Missouri. Y'all have to say show me, all right? So here's me getting the vaccine shot. Then I want to end with my book, which is a journal that I kept for the first 4 years in recovery. All right. So y'all have a blessed day. And again, if it's God's will that we are reunited on day 85, I'm going to make sure I have a happy day. All right. So be safe, and make sure you do what the CDC suggests, and also make sure you extract the information of the 12 steps that are spiritual in nature. To God be the glory. Be safe.